Hello. You know what time it is. It is Chitter Chatter time, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another great episode of Chitter Chatter. Let me get that straight. And I am so glad to have everyone here. We have been having some amazing episodes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to have you here. If you're just now tuning in, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chatter time, and we are going to have a great time tonight. Ladies, tonight, let me get my shirt together. Tonight, the topic is frustrated, not angry. Because so many times in our community, they try to make us seem like everything we do is angry. We're angry. We're aggressive. We are changing the narrative tonight. We are frustrated. We are tired. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sometimes we just need a break, ladies. We are speaking on it tonight. And you know what we got to do first. First things first, we're going to mix our drink. And I'm still drinking on this bottle, ladies, from the other night. Jack Daniels. And I done fell in love with the ginger beer. But I'm making a different drink tonight. Got some new ingredients. And I'm actually just freestyling it. If you're just now tuning in, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chatter time, ladies. And we are speaking on what matters. When Black girls, Chatter. I am so thankful to have everybody here. I have reached episode 20. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. It's long. I didn't even grab my shot glass. So, tonight we're going to have to freestyle it. And I just got some good shot glasses. But tonight, you know what? I do have the little ounce thing. So I think 4 shots was 4 ounces. So let's see. And that's how we're going to do that. 4 ounces. So I'm glad I remember where I put that top at. Let's not do that too many times tonight because I might lose it. Ladies, we are speaking on frustrated, not angry. Because so many times in our community, everything that we do, we're frustrated. Everything we do, we're angry. We don't have a right to be frustrated, especially when dealing with men. Our guests tonight are ladies that work in a male-dominated field. And they are ladies, they're in their, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say the military, army, and be wrong because I know it's a difference. So, but they are beautiful ladies. No, I don't even know the word. But they are in an industry where you have to be strong and you have to be tough. And it's hard to be a woman and be strong and tough and still get the respect of men when you're in a male-dominated field. And that's what we're going to speak on today. Not even just in a male-dominated field. When you're dealing with men, period. And we're speaking on what we can do as women to support each other and deal with those issues that we don't normally deal with because we're not always angry. We don't want to always seem angry. And every time we try to express ourselves when we're being treated differently or when we're being treated unfairly, we're in our women emotions or we're too aggressive or it's like, you need to calm down. It's not that serious. No, ladies, we're frustrated and we are tired of just having to go by to get by. And that's what we are speaking on tonight, ladies. Frustrated, not angry. And we are taking back the narrative. Thank you so much. I did it myself. Plus my barber threw in a haircut. We are taking back the narrative that Black women are just so angry about everything. And ladies, we are also, you have to be careful about how quickly people are to judge you when the conversation about you is negative. They are so quick to call us, they are so quick to say we're frustrated. Not frustrated. They're so quick to say we're angry. They're so quick to say we're aggressive. Anything negative about Black women, they are quick to label. And when we get labels like aggressive and angry, they run with them. Every single thing we do is aggressive and angry. But there is no parade when we do things that are happy. There is no parade when we're in good spirits and we're coming together and we're having good events. Every time there's something negative happening in our community, when there's crime, when there's arguments, when there's abuse. Hello, everyone. People are so quick to highlight that. As soon as there's something positive going on in our community, or there's something that we are coming together and we're doing, and there's no commotion and everything is positive, you don't hear any news about that. When our young people are doing great things in the community, you don't hear anything about that, because they want to label us angry. They want to label us aggressive. They want to label us toxic. We done took that toxic term and ran with it. We are taking back all these derogatory terms and throwing them away, ladies. We are not angry. We're not toxic. We're going through some things. We are not aggressive. We are trying to speak and communicate clearly without being judged by everyone that has everything to say. Sometimes we're frustrated. We're dealing with a lot. There are so many Black women and women in general that are taking care of their kids by themselves. They're taking care of bills. They're going to school. They're owning businesses. They're doing so much. And you expect them not to have a bad day? You expect them not to be frustrated? Those are weights and stress that we put on ourselves and our community, and we are limiting that. We're speaking on situations that occur that make these situations so frustrating on us, and we're taking them back from ourselves, lady. That song by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady, that it hits differently in a way. We put so many titles and bags on ourselves. You wonder why you're frustrated, and we don't know how to deal with our frustration because we don't really get to be frustrated. I want to take a sip and mix my drink. So, ladies, what I have mixed here, I have ginger beer, about 3 ounces, 4 ounces of the Jack Daniels, and I have cran mango juice, just to add a little sweetness to it. So once that's mixed, I'm gonna do something cute with the cup. I have some crushed pineapples I'm gonna put in the bottom of this glass, just to give it a little extra flavor, and some real pineapple juice. I actually meant to use the cran pineapple, not the cran mango, but I forgot to put it up here with me. So it's cran mango tonight. But if you ever mix this drink, it's better with the cran pineapple. I'm gonna assume this is my first time making it too. You freestyle and you come up with the better drinks. So you put the pineapples in the bottom like that, and that's real good down there. And I'm gonna add in some ice. And this at the bottom of the drink is supposed to last all night. So when you're refilling your drink, the pineapples are getting soaked, and you're gonna have, by the end of the night, those are gonna be so good. Ladies, if you're just tuning in, it is Chitter Chatter time, and we are speaking on frustration, ladies, because we get frustrated in our community, and when we're frustrated, it's labeled everything but frustration. It's like people can't put a reason as to why we are tired, why we are snapping, why we are having bad days. We are taking back those narratives. There are so many times in our community where we're just having a bad day, and instead of somebody asking you what's wrong, are you going through anything, you get excited. You're aggressive. You're angry. You're so upset. You're doing too much. No one stopped to ask you what you had to go through. We are taking back the narratives that we are angry and aggressive. And like I said, you got to be careful you got to be careful at how quickly people are, and the people who are quick to judge you by what they heard about you. You didn't see that I was frustrated, friend, family, spectator. You didn't see that I was having a bad day. You didn't want to stop and ask me what I was doing before you just assumed that I was crazy. Because we are so quick to label ourselves crazy as well. This is already good. So what are we going to do right now? I had to add a little bit more to that. What we do right now is we're going to take one sip. Not angry, because we can be frustrated. Let me sip it down a little. That is actually awesome. We can be frustrated in our community, ladies. We are taking back the idea that we are just so aggressive and angry. Because let me tell you, sometimes we are mad. Sometimes we do have a bad day. Sometimes things have gotten on our nerves to the point where we're about to explode. We're trying to limit those days. And when we can take away the labels. Let's take one sip, ladies. Boom. Ooh, that's good. If you're just now tuning in, it's Chitter Chatter time. Drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter Chatter time. I have 2 veterans online with me today, and we're going to be speaking on frustrated, not angry. We are telling you about sometimes when ladies, we're just having a bad day and we are labeled so quickly that we're angry and aggressive, and we're taking that back. We are speaking on today. If you're just now tuning in, I'm going to tell you 5 ways to connect with Uniquia. You can reach me at Facebook. I'm Uniquia Manigault. Jump into our group on Facebook, blackgirlbeauty.org. If you have not added that group, go ahead and add right now. I am Uniquia. That's IAMUNIQUIA on Instagram, and Uniquia Manigault on YouTube, LinkedIn, and those are 5 ways to connect with me. And the Black Girl Beauty group, ladies, go ahead and join in there. That's the way for you to connect with Uniquia. That's the way for you to connect with the Manigault. That's the way for you to keep up with what's going on with Black Girl Beauty. That's the way for you to keep up with everything that we have going on. And ladies, if you have not yet gotten your hoop, go ahead and get your fitness hoop. We are getting in shape. We are being healthy and black. We are black womening. However, I don't know what that is, but that's the line. We're black womening. And when we are doing that, we are getting in shape. We are being beautiful. We are healing. We are tapping into everything that we need to tap into to reach another level, ladies. We are doing fitness challenges. Right now, I'm up to 10 minutes. Last year is when I began. That's when I learned how to hula hoop. Now, I can't get the hula hoop to fall down. And if it do, I know how to pull it right back up. Jump into our hoop challenge. Jump on over to shop.blackgirlbeautyinc.com and get your Black Girl Beauty hoop. We have them in all colors and all varieties, and we will be adding more. Ladies, it is time for Chitter Chatter, and I'm going to begin today, ladies, with the poem that I had written for you guys, because we're going to go ahead and bring our guests in a little bit earlier so that we can dive into this topic and they can really give you your opinions, because I'm going to give you my opinions every week. But I want you to have other Black women on here so that they can really tell you their perspective, and it's not just all coming from one person. But like I said, you have to be careful when you're dealing with frustration, because when we're trying to build our brands and we're trying to build ourselves to be better women, we have to be careful of what people are quick to label us, because people use labels and use what they say about us to demean us and tear us down. You have to be careful of people that are willing to accept the worst of you and see the worst of you. And always, as soon as someone calls you aggressive, they're like, yeah, she is aggressive. As soon as someone says you're angry, yes, she is angry. But when you're healing yourself and you're trying to get yourself back on track, you don't hear everyone in the corner of that. You have to be careful of loving someone who is capable of loving the worst of you. The worst of you. After years of living, one thing that my life has taught me is that anyone who is content with the worst of me is the worst kind of person to have in company. Now, let me please stop you right now before you judge that statement you just heard. I definitely have an explanation to precisely clarify my words. I know to many that statement sounds so absurd. Like, no, you tripping. True love will love at your best and your worst. That's how you know it's real. That's the theory we rehearse. And that is true. But we all know it's 3 sides to the truth. This side, that side, and then there's the real truth. I got to be careful loving someone that's capable of loving the worst of me, because love can make you content real quick. And that's the very worst thing for me. If you can be content with the worst of me, that tells me you think the worst of me. So the worst of me is the version of me that you believe to be the real me. And that's important, because that affects how you treat me. That affects how interactions and conversations flow between you and me. Because if you think the worst of me, you have no problem disrespecting me. You'll feel no type of way you're changing me. And I mean that in every aspect: physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, and emotionally. You'll never mind what I say, because whatever I'm saying is wrong and not what it should be. And you don't see the tragedy that is the worst of me. So you'll always pull out the worst of me. And I don't need that in my company. The worst of me is exactly what it's said to be. It's the bad side, the good of me, the feeling I keep in captivity, the anger that gets me caught up. The worst of me is everything negative about me. And I don't need anybody around me pulling out my negativity, treating me negatively. If I allow that in my company, I also get content with the worst of me. Because speaking to myself foolishly, knowing I can do better, but settling for mediocrity. Then I lose the desire to be the best of me. And as a man, so is he. Slowly but surely, I become the worst of me. I don't want to love someone that can be loving the worst of me, because the worst of me is exactly what it's said to be. And I only want to be the best of me, because the best of me is the only way I should be. If you can fall in love with the worst of me, you won't be able to handle love with me, the best version of me, truth be told. And basically what that poem is saying, when people are quick to label you aggressive and angry and say all these negative things about you, it's really because secretly that's what they think about you. Secretly that's what they want other people to believe about you. And when you allow yourself to get so frustrated, that's your anger comes out. That you seem aggressive. You really give them what they want. You allow these people to label you under these titles that they use to demean us. And it's not always fair, but sometimes you have to be cautious of the people that you have around you that are quick to fall in love with what people say about you. Because if people around you don't defend you, when people are quick to label you aggressive and angry, and they're not quick to defend you, you know what, she's just having a bad day. You know, maybe something is going on, or they're not the ones to stop and ask you, but they're quick to be like, you know what, you are a little aggressive today. You have to be careful about those people, because those people are consistently pulling at you. Because one thing about frustration, it has a time limit. You know, you only gonna get frustrated a couple times before you decide it's the last day I'm frustrated and I'm tapping in. And we're gonna take one sip to that, ladies. You gotta know when to hold them. You got to be careful of who you keep in your company, because what we have to realize is we go through a lot. We're going to get frustrated. We're going to be dealing with things. You're going to have a lot of things on your shoulder. And when you have people around you that are also feeding into the negativity, also in your ear telling you, you know, you are frustrated. You know, you do that from time to time. You know what? You have to be careful about those people. Sometimes what they're saying out of love. And then other times what they're saying out of jealousy. You have to be careful of those people. And now that we're speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and bring in our guests, because I know these women have dealt with these things in their field when they're just being judged because they're just doing their job or speaking on emotion. We are taking it back. We are not angry, ladies. We are frustrated, we are tired, and we are just trying to express ourselves. We're going to bring in our first guest. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Hey, Miss Kiana. She said I can call her Kiana. Okay. She said I can call her Kiana tonight, but I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. You're going to come in and tell everyone your name, what you do. You're muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay.
Hello,
there you go.
Everyone. How are you? My name is Kiana Briscoe.
I'm
doing good. My name is Kiana Briscoe, and I'm currently I'm in the Army. I've been in the Army for going on 18 years, and so right now I live in Seattle, Washington. I work at the Seattle Military Entrance Processing Station. I manage the overall processing of those applicants joining the Army. So I've been doing that for the past 2 years, and this topic has resonated with me when you made a post a few days ago, and I commented on the post in regards to the fact that whenever we, as Black women, if we have something to say, then it's always, a lot of times people turn it into negativity or us being an angry Black woman.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we're speaking on tonight, because we're trying to change that narrative, because we're just trying to express ourselves, and we're trying to live freely the same way everyone else is. And sometimes we get frustrated and we're dealing with a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and bring our next guest in.
Hi.
Hello, Miss Darlise. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How's everyone?
Hi, everyone is great. We're so happy to see you. Come on in and introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are, what you do, and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, before I begin, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and give a toast to you.
Thank you so much. Here we are. I'm so thankful to have you here.
Stella Rosa.
Have a good night tonight.
Anyway, my name is Darlise Yvette. I'm a retired Army veteran. I currently work for the federal government, and this subject, I have dealt with it from all aspects. Men, women, just all around. I've been all around the world. I've traveled. I've dealt with people young and old. A diverse group of people that have either accused me of being the angry Black woman, accused me of being a challenge to deal with. Oh, she's too outspoken. She's too direct. She's a challenge to deal with, all because I'm a person that speaks my mind. So I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here, and I look forward to this evening conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much for coming. Both of you ladies, I'm so thankful to have you on. And it was just, both of you were the first ones that came to my mind when I thought of this topic. And it was crazy. Kiana, you commented on the post that I made, and I was already, it was like somebody was telling me, don't forget to call her and ask her if she wanted to be on. And I'm so thankful that you ladies were able to join. And one thing that you said is one of the questions that I had, and it's one of the main questions, because one thing in our community, we like to team up together when things when it's in our favor. When women are speaking like to men and we're trying to say who bashes us the most, or is that treats you more, that label us more aggressive and angry when we're having a dispute, or is it men? Because sometimes I want to say it's the first thing men go to when we're trying to express our emotions. We're too angry, we're aggressive, but sometimes women do the same thing. Miss Kiana, I'm going to begin with you. Do you receive more labeling and more judgment from men or women?
I receive
And
more
why do you think
judgment.
it is?
I receive more judgment from men, because I think a lot of men just expect you
Mm,
to. A lot of men think that you're beneath them. They think that they can say and do what they want to say and do, and you just, as a woman, that I should just go along with it. So I would say it comes mainly from men. Now, I have had some experiences with women as well.
absolutely.
There's some women who, and it hasn't been as most as men, but I think a lot of women also will try to challenge another woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Darlene, do you get it more from men or women?
That's a great question. I have received it from both, actually. The men, either they will ignore it, consider the woman emotional, or she's going through something. The females, I
Absolutely.
have found that they will begin rumors about you, or accuse you of being either off your medication or on some medication. So it depends on the situation. It comes from both angles. It just depends on the situation. And so I would say that it's equal
Absolutely,
in
absolutely.
my
I
experience.
agree with that. I say I kind of get it. I kind of get it on equal aspects. And sometimes, most times when it comes to me, when I'm dealing with work or when I'm dealing with business, when I'm dealing with a man and that's the situation, that's how he's feeling, it always sometimes becomes like a competition. And men, when they're in situations, as far as my experience is concerned, when they're in a situation, it's like they always turn it sexual. Like that's their angle that they go like, oh, you're so aggressive, you need to be tamed, and this is how you need to be tamed. And it's like
Right.
I've always wondered like where that even comes from. Because why do you feel like, because I'm competing with you competitively the same way a man would, but because I'm a woman, not only am I aggressive, but I need to be tamed in a sexual way. Has that ever happened to you guys in your field? Miss Darlise, we're gonna begin with you, especially in the army, like dealing with men who are, because your field is kind of strength. So when men are challenged strength wise, have you ever been in a situation where you just out out not out athletic size in the physical world, and how did that situation occur, and is there any advice you can give to another woman that is possibly in that same situation?
Yes, I have been in a situation where there was a guy that was jealous because I would have to say that I was more educated than he was. He didn't have his degree, but he
Mm-hmm.
outranked me. He was in charge of me. So he did everything he could to try to stop me, bring me down, and just make my life miserable. I've had another person approach me and say, I know what you need, the whole sexual thing, or you need this, you need that.
Mm,
And that actually turned into, I was a little younger, so I ended up cursing the person out, and I got physical and I punched him. But I was younger back then. But it has happened. They will bring sex up. I have been a victim of that. They will try to stop you. The advice that I was given that I will give to other people is to stay focused. Stay focused on what's important to you. Don't
Absolutely.
let what somebody says about you define where you're going, where you're trying to be, where you're trying to go, and what you're trying to become. You'll hear it, consider it noise,
Absolutely.
and just shut it out, shut it down, and keep on moving. So my mom always told me, keep your head up, and that's what I've done, and I stand by that. I will keep my head up literally when I'm walking. When you see me, I've been called stuck up and bougie because I've had my
Mm.
so high up in the air, all because I was blocking it all out.
And actually, and what you just described is exactly what we're speaking about. When the situation occurred, and your reaction to the man, you said you even punched him. Like, I feel like in that situation you were justified. But those are actions and responses that even he or any other male in that situation with a woman, or another woman in that situation with a woman, where you're so frustrated, you react. And that's why I said, it's like, finally I can't take no more, and I'm reacting. You either get punched, I say the wrong thing, I do the wrong thing. In those moments, we're labeled angry and aggressive. It's like, how can we as Black women help each other signify those levels before they get to the she's aggressive, she's angry? Because, like, I feel like he deserved that punch. And I feel like that's something that we as women, we need to come together and start make it known. Like, we're quick to label each other for the explosion, but nobody wants to take the time to piece together how the explosion got to where it was. Miss Kiana, you can give us an example of a situation that kind of happened to you like that. And based off of what I just said, like, what is some advice you can give to another Black woman and that could maybe in that same situation? Because it's so common in our community and we don't speak about it enough.
Can you hear me? I'm
Yes.
sorry. So one of the things that it that happened is with leadership. My command being coming into a situation, being jealous, being angry, being upset because I'm a strong-willed individual, knowledgeable with my job. They don't have that. And so when I'm
Mm.
I won't say abrasive, but when I'm direct, I'm very direct when it comes to saying anything. And so a lot of times people will get offended because I'm so direct. And then not only will they say it in a sexual manner, but then they'll turn around and say, oh, it must be that time of the month. They think of it as us being emotional
Mm.
because we're being direct. No, I'm not on. It's not that time of the month. We're just no nonsense individuals. And so some of the advice that I would have is stand up for yourself. Let people know when they're
Mm.
wrong, and don't accept anything from anyone.
Exactly. And that right there, what you just said, is so important in our community, because I feel like we need to start putting things in place for those women that do speak up and speak for themselves. Because so many times in our community, when those women, the few women that decide to, especially in the army and in the military and in male dominated industries, when women do come forth and speak up when they've been harassed, or when they've been labeled, or when they've been blackballed, because sometimes we get blackballed when we speak about things that we feel offended us, because they're like, you're too whiny, you're too this or too that, and they try to blackball us in the industry. We need to put plans in place to help the Black women that decide to step up, because it's always the one that stands up and speaks out about the situation, rightfully so. They really gets the hard bill. They get blackballed, they lose their job, they fall down, and we watch them while we're all suffering from the same disease. Like, we're all going through the same thing, we're all dealing with the same thing. And a lot of times, what we do is we jump on the bandwagon that the men are on against each other. And that's where we're losing a lot of each other. And I wanted to ask you ladies, so that we can, because we're trying to change the narrative that we're sometimes frustrated. We're not angry. What is the difference between you when you're frustrated versus you when you're angry? Like, what is the difference in you? I'm gonna start with you, Miss Darlise.
Frustrated. When I'm frustrated, first thing that I normally do is just pray and ask God to help me to guide my thoughts and order my steps. Then I will go out and exercise or do something to take care of myself. If I'm angry and pissed off about something, what I find myself doing is I will literally curse whoever or whatever the situation is out, but I'll do it in my mirror. I'll do it somewhere, not to
Absolutely.
that person. I just get the anger out and speak those words of hate, anger, or whatever it is. I'll get it out. I have to get it out of my system. You can't keep that stuff bottled up. You got to get it out.
Absolutely.
So get it out. I get it out and I speak, I say whatever I have to say. And as I'm praying, I ask God to help me so that I can move on, because you can't hold on to it, but you have to get it out. One thing that we can do, and I have done this and I've seen other women do it, when we see these things happening from the men or from whoever, if it's coming from a female. But one incident I was in, a male said something sexual in front of a junior soldier, and I guess he thought it was okay. So I called him out on it and told him it was inappropriate and asked him not to do that, not to say it, because she didn't find it funny. She didn't say anything. So we have to sometimes be the voice for others, for the voiceless.
Absolutely.
Because some people won't say anything, they won't stand up for themselves for whatever reason. So if we're in a position and we see it happening, or if it's happening to us, we have to use our voice. We have to pray and ask God for
Absolutely.
strength. But we also have to get it out. And that's
Absolutely.
where the anger part comes in. Anger, get it out of your system, get mad, get over it, and keep it moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're just now tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chatter, and we are speaking on frustrated, not angry. Sometimes, so many times in our community, when anything happens, when we show any type of emotion, when we're sad, when we're tired, we are labeled as angry. We are labeled as aggressive. We are labeled every derogatory term in the book except going through something, except tired, except frustrated, as if we don't have any other emotion except and aggressive. We are changing that narrative, ladies. Ladies, we are speaking on things that occur in situations that we've been in when we have been labeled or judged aggressive and angry just for simply speaking our voices, so that we can recognize these situations when they happen and change those narratives. Now, Miss Kiana, the question that we're in, if you're just now tuning in, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter time, and Miss Kiana is going to answer the question for us. What is the difference between you when you're frustrated and you when you're angry? And I want to clarify that question a little bit, just so in case, so you can really understand what I'm saying. What I'm asking you is because I want to make it clear that sometimes we do get mad, sometimes we do get angry, but we are not angry women. We are not aggressive women, but sometimes you do have to handle things aggressively. But we in our community, we are labeled angry and aggressive so often that we shy away from the idea or the moment labeled angry. Like, I was angry in that moment. No, I wasn't angry. I was this, and this. We always try to explain away moments when we actually were angry and we actually were aggressive because it's labeled a derogatory term. But sometimes we go through those motions. What is the difference between you when you are angry versus frustrated? And what is some advice you can give to us, all of us, because we all need to know how to signify this in women, to know the difference between the two and how to, approach the situation. And we're going to take one sip to that, ladies. Communication is key. Thank you, ladies, for having your drinks on time. I love that. I love when my guests are on point. You're still muted, Miss Kiana.
So for me, the difference between whenever I get frustrated, whenever I get angry, like Miss Darlise, I pray, because sometimes if I go
Absolutely.
straight off the handle, I'm gonna go too far. And so I've learned as I've gotten older to pray and ask God to just calm me down, give me the words to say. And for me, I have to address the situation with the individual. I have to get it out. I have to say why I'm angry.
Hmm.
I have to say why I'm upset. I have to say why I'm frustrated in that moment. Not in that moment, but I have to get it out eventually after I calm down. Because when I was younger, I would just go off the handle curse people out
Right.
and just go off the handle. And I don't want to react. I never want to give people the opportunity to judge me based off of how I react on a situation. So since I've gotten older, I pray about it, I calm down, and then once I'm calm, I have a conversation with myself and how to address it, so that I know that I'm not going to come across being disrespectful, or where they can classify me as the
Absolutely.
angry Black woman.
Can I add something?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just wanted to add one thing. Frustration with me, when I'm frustrated, I have found that my frustration requires a change. So I'm frustrated with the situation. I'm frustrated with
Absolutely.
whatever it is that's going on. Therefore, I must make a change with what's happening. When I'm angry, I may be angry about whatever, XYZ, but the anger may not require a change. The anger may require, okay, get the anger out, release the anger, uh, exercise, do whatever it
Absolutely.
is you need to do to release the anger. But the frustration piece may require some actual movement, some action. The
Absolutely.
anger may just require a
Absolutely.
release.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, these are conversations we need to have, because as Black women, we need to know that we can exhaust every emotion that we have. And these are conversations that need to be had, because we're all different. We all need to release in different ways. And we all think all different things mean different ways. One thing that both ladies said, and I myself agree, when I get frustrated, when I get angry, when I get happy, any emotion I go through, I have to stop and pray. But that is so important. And that brings me to my next question. Ladies, do you have someone that you can talk to when you are frustrated? Because when we go through our emotions, it's important that we have someone to talk to. It's important that we know what to do. It's important that we know there are stages and steps to dealing with your emotions. As Black women, we aren't told that, you know what, you are going to get angry from time to time. This is what you need to do. These are some things that you can do when you get angry. These are things when you get frustrated. And this is how you handle yourself before you get angry. If you know that it's okay for you to tap into these emotions, all you have to do is learn to control them and how to deal with them. You can grow and be a better woman. And that's what we need. We need to know that sometimes you're going to have a bad day. Sometimes you're going to be frustrated. It's not that you need to try to avoid being frustrated and mad. You need to know how to deal with it when the situation arises. You need to know who you need to talk to. Miss Kiana, we're going to begin with you. Do you have someone you can talk to when you get frustrated?
Yes. I usually will call my husband,
Okay.
and I'll call one of my girlfriends that has been in my situation, in the same situation or similar situations. But talking to my husband, just, letting him know what's going on. And he's usually my voice of reason. He'll be like, okay, babe, it's not that serious. You need to calm down. Is don't let them get the best of you. Just, he's my encourager. He's my voice of reason, along with one of my good friends, she's retired Army. So we have the same similar background as far as career fields goes, and so she's been in similar situations. So just having them to talk to, and get it out how I'm feeling, helps me calm down as well.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, she just tapped into two very important things that I want us as Black women to tap into: marriage and friendship. We are tapping back into the idea that marriage is important in our community. Not to say that you can't do whatever you need to do on your own. When you have a unit, when you have a best friend, when you have a spouse that you can go to for anything, financial, emotional, physical, that helps you become a better woman. And I told you, ladies, this platform is about us healing. It's about us growing. You see how important it is when you're frustrated to have someone that you can go to. And when you build that foundation and you yearn, I'm not saying that you will always have it and nothing is wrong if you don't, but yearn and desire to have a husband or a significant other, because we living in 2021. I'm not judging nobody by how you choose to live. A significant other that you can go to, that you can just talk to, someone who knows you and can calm you down, and a friend. And the importance of the friend that she spoke on, it wasn't just any type of friend. It's a friend in her field, a friend that has experienced the things that she experienced. That is something that we have to tap into in our community, Black women. You have to have friends outside of who I grew up with, who I know from down the street, where I know from around the corner. It's not that those people are good. It's that you have to have friends that relate to you in your field, in your industry. People that you grew up with only know you from the streets and what you did for fun and how y'all grew up and hang. And those are cool friends to have. But you need friends that are in your field, living your life, dealing with your same stress and same dimension of work every single day. They can relate to what you're going through and give you some sound advice on what they think you should do based off of what they would do if they were in your situation. You're gonna have friends and family. You heard what I said in the poem. You have to be wary of those that expect the worst of you. And I'm not saying that people that you grew up with expect the worst of you. I'm just saying those people don't know you business wise. You can't ask the local grocery store owner about how to be an astronaut, because he won't know what to tell you. He can tell you maybe you should get a couple spaceships, because he's trying to get a couple stores. But as far as the dimensions of what it takes to really launch a rocket, he don't know the complications that you're going through. He really can't have that conversation with you. He can only speak to you from a business standpoint. And we're living in 2020. So many people have businesses. So many people are trying to establish themselves. So many people are trying to get where they need to go. I'm not demeaning any friendship that you have. But in this world, if you want to progress, if you want to be great, you have to have like-minded people around you. You have to have people that are better than you around you and not compete with them. You need those people around you because they can tell you what you need. People that are better than you so that you can be better. If everybody around you is beneath you or on your level, you're going to stay where you are for a long time. Always yearn to have friends. Always encourage your friends to be better so that you can be better. This is what I mean by the worst of you. When you have people around you that expect the best of you, even if they're in the worst of them, they're telling you, hey, sis, this ain't where we're at. We have this, that, and that to get to. We need to be doing better. If everyone around you is not on that mindset, no one can encourage you to be better. We are healing, we are growing, and we are being better. And those two things that she touched on helps us when we are frustrated and when we are angry. Because when you're frustrated, you go speak to someone about something that you're frustrated with, and their intelligence isn't on the intelligence level that you need to be on to have that conversation, you know what that does? That frustrates you even further. So after that conversation that you had to take down your frustration, now you're even more frustrated. So you know what might happen on the next situation? You might get angry and explode. Miss Darlise, we're going to jump to you. Do you have someone that you can talk to when you're frustrated? And what does that mean to you?
I do have several. I think it is very important to have a support circle, be it small or large. Large is great, but as long as you have someone that you can talk to, it is great. I have my dear friend, and it's good to have a diverse group, young and old. And I say that because I have my peers. I have my dear friend, Miss Amanda Manigault.
Wow.
Which I can call her or text her and say, hey, this is what I got going on. And she will give me some sound advice. You need a friend that's going to give it to you.
I'm going to tell you right now, Miss Darlise, she's an awesome friend to have. I'm so happy that you have her. Like, that's the best friend in the world. Stop and tell you.
It is. I've been knowing her since I was about 6. But anyway, it's good to have someone that is going to give it to you straight. That's going to give it to you raw because they love you and they care about you. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to downplay it. They're going to say, listen, this is what it is. I have my church family, a good friend of mine named Jeanette. Jeanette will pray with me. She will listen to me. She will support me. I have my sister, Pookie. She has a little juke joint called Pookum's Place. When I want a good laugh, or if I'm feeling down or sad, I'll call her up, or if I'm in the Harrisburg, I will go to her place, and I'm bound to get some good advice, and I'm definitely going to leave out of there laughing. And I also have my children. My children, Deanna and Jair, will give me the young perspective on whatever it is I'm feeling. One day I was upset, frustrated by something from work, and I told my daughter to read the email, and she read the email, and her response was, what's wrong with it? She's just asking you a question. But I had read deep into it. I just tore the email apart. I can't believe she's asking me this. And my daughter's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I had to reel it back in. She's like, Mom, she's just asking you a question. Just answer the question. But I was upset because how dare you ask
Right.
me that question, So my daughter had to bring me back in. And that was great because sometimes we overthink things, So if you have a
Absolutely.
support
A
circle
lot of
where
times. A lot of
somebody
times.
right, where somebody can pull you back and bring you back down, it's like, okay, calm down. You're taking this a little too far left, just
Hmm.
bring it home. So yeah, I do have a support circle,
Absolutely.
and it's good to have.
Miss Darlise, something that you
Absolutely,
said,
ladies.
it made me think. One of the things you said, when your daughter read the email and she said she's just asking a question, it made me think about sometimes when I get offended by something and it sets me off or it makes me upset or makes me angry, or if I'm wrong about a situation, having that circle to correct us and tell me, you're wrong, you shouldn't have did that, you shouldn't have reacted like that. I think it's
Yeah,
also important to have somebody in our inner circle that tells us when we're wrong and can talk us down off the deep end sometimes.
Absolutely.
right, right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Black Girl Beauty. We are learning and growing. These ladies are teaching me a lot. When you are angry and frustrated, because I am not yet married, I do not yet have children, but you see how what they're showing me is the importance of having that in that team. Because we're living in a day and age where people are trying to make it seem like love isn't important. Family is important. You can make it out here on your own. And I'm not saying that you can't, but let's not stray away from the fact that much how important it is to have that so that you don't have to struggle. We don't want our sisters and brothers to have to struggle without each other. We're building support systems and building families because in our community, that's what we need. We need love and unity. Everything that these ladies just explained shows you how important it is to have someone to talk to when you're frustrated and when you're angry. And if you don't have someone to talk to, ladies, if you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter. We are here in Black Girl Beauty. You can join our group, Black Girl Beauty Inc. blackgirlbeautyinc.org on Facebook. If you don't have someone to talk to when you're going through these moments, join our group. We jump in the group. I'm jumping in and I'm always putting in topics and asking questions just to tap into, just to see how we're doing. We need a platform where we can come together and we can share our emotions. We're not always angry, ladies, and we have women here that are explaining to you that they know, they've been there. They know what it's like to be judged when you're just simply trying to express yourself or just trying to be respected the same way that everyone else is being respected. They use these terms to demean us, ladies. We need to support each other. We are creating a platform where Black women can come and Black women. I was calling the Black women in earlier. Let's take one sip to that, ladies. We need a platform where we can come together and Black women, because Black women deserve to be free. We deserve to exhaust all of our emotions. Black women and Black men. This is our platform. But I like to make it clear these topics relate to all of us. We are all trying to grow and trying to heal, and healing is what we need. But it begins with us. When we heal women, because we are the nurturers, we are the educators, we are what really moves a community and a nation. When we begin to educate our children and love on our daughters, and they begin to love on their daughters, and they begin to love on their daughters, and their daughters gonna love on their sons, we are gonna rebuild our community. Understand it is okay for you to get frustrated from time to time. You are not angry. You are not an angry Black woman because you got frustrated. No, you need to learn how to deal with that frustration. So every 5 minutes you come around the corner, you're not getting frustrated. That is how you get labeled angry Black woman, aggressive Black woman. Miss Darlise, we're gonna jump to you. I want to ask you to give any woman on this live, some advice. What is it that you do when you are have encountered situations with other Black women? Because it's most of the time us that demean each other and beat each other down. When you encounter other situations with other Black women, what do you do to diffuse situations so that you both don't be labeled angry Black women? Because when we argue, we're both being labeled. It's not one of us, it's both of us. How do you handle situations when you are being judged just for expressing yourself and you're trying not to be labeled aggressive?
I've actually just been in that situation, and what I had to do was I had to pull her to the side, and I had to have a heart to heart, one on one talk with her and tell her, listen, we have to come together, because what we don't want
Absolutely.
is for them to see us arguing with each other, disagreeing with each other, unable to get along, unable to agree, because then we get the label, oh, two angry black women that can't get their stuff together. So I
Absolutely.
actually told her, we need to either put up a united front or be able to talk it out and work together
Exactly.
and say, hey,
Like,
you know what? Uh,
that
let's work this out. How can we resolve this issue or whatever it is? We cannot allow folks to
absolutely.
see us fighting with each other, hating on each other, being angry,
Absolutely.
talking about the person. I even had a situation in the military. I had my I had a dry. This is so petty, and I saw your episode on being petty. This was so petty, and our sister here that's in the military still, I know she's going to be able to relate to this and know where I'm coming from, since she's been in for 18 years. My uniform had the dry cleaner tag on it, on the back. I had my
Okay. Yeah.
uniform on, and I did not realize that the tag was still there. Another
Hmm.
soldier pulled me to the side, well, said, hey, you got tag on your back. EA, somebody to
Hmm.
outrank me. Mind you, I was an E7. EA, a master sergeant, said to the E6,
You.
don't say nothing to her. Let her go. Let her keep it on. And I heard this and I thought, why would she want me to walk around and so somebody could try to clown me? But
People that
that was
people that
the thing.
expect the worst of you. I told you.
Right. That, and I couldn't believe it coming from this. She was my supervisor. And I didn't understand why she did it. And I just looked at her like, I had some choice thoughts about how I saw her, but I didn't say it. I went on and I took the tag off. But that's what women do, and we can't be like that. We can't be
Absolutely.
like that. Help each
Absolutely. And
other.
that one thing that you just touched on that I wanted to say, ladies, we have to be willing to put on the united front.
Mhm.
Sometimes in our community, I may not like you. You may not like me. But when you make it, I make it. Or you open the door for me. When I make it, I open the door for you. There's no question about it. There's no way a black woman can open the door for another black woman. Regardless to what you think or how you feel, you making it has opened the door for me to make it. We need to be able to put aside our frustration and our anger, because once that when you get labeled angry black woman, they're going to be quick to label me. They're going to use what you did to be quick to shut
Oh
down what
yeah,
I did. We have to
right.
be willing to come together and stand together. When other nations have situations going on, when they're trying to climb in businesses, when they're trying to grow and rank, they would rather help their lowest of ranking person before helping our highest of ranking person. Continue that attitude, because what you fail to realize is when you make a way for the next, you making a way for you. She wasn't labeled angry when she did that. So you know what's gonna happen when you do it? You're not gonna be labeled angry either. Maybe that one time you can get through. But if every time something happens, we're quick to jump on the bandwagon, we have to be willing to come together. Miss Kiana, same question.
So for me, it's so funny that you gave that story, because one of the things that I feel is that a lot of black women in the military that are higher ranking, they make it harder for the person that's underneath them to come up. And it's like, instead of saying, hey, let me take your hand, let me help you, let me bring you up to where I am, they want to cause all this confusion. And so for me, I've always been
Right.
like, look, if it, we in this thing together, we a team, we are a team, we're in this together. I got your back, I need you to have my back. And so
Absolutely.
being as I've gotten older and more mature in the military, it's like I have to make sure that we as women are together on one accord, women empowerment,
Absolutely.
because we are the minority. And so for me, I say just putting that team out there. We gonna get along whether you like it or not.
Absolutely.
I got your back. You have my back.
Absolutely. That united front. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a great episode. This is Chitter Chatter, we have spoken on frustrated, not angry. This is something that needs to be touched on in our community because we need to know that it can happen and you will get frustrated. Miss Amanda is going to be joining us in. Are you ready, Miss Amanda, to come on in? She actually jumped in the live. We are speaking on frustrated, not angry. So often in our community, every time we exhaust any emotion other than happy, as if we're robots and we're always happy and we never have a bad day, we're labeled aggressive and angry. Anytime we receive any injustice and we speak on it, we are labeled aggressive and bitter and angry. Every derogatory term that can be used to describe a woman is used to describe a black woman when she's going through any other emotion other than happy. We are changing that narrative. We are speaking on it. We are helping each other heal and tap into those emotions when we do tap into it. Because, like I said earlier, ladies, you will get frustrated. You will get angry. You will have bad days. You will need to punch somebody. You will need to do all of these things. And you need to know that you are not those things. Be careful of people around you that are quick to label you by one bad situation that you had. Be careful about people around you that are quick to demean you when you make a wrong step. Be careful of people around you that are quick to block your way, like these ladies were saying. Some black women make it hard for you to get where you need to go just because they're in it. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies, in case you don't know, it's jealousy and it's fear and they feel threatened by you. It's insecurity.
Oh yeah.
The only reason why women block other women is because they feel like they have a chance of being replaced. We are taking away that
Exactly.
narrative, ladies. We don't have to replace each other. We can exist here together. It doesn't matter where you are or where you exist. We can exist here together. We are speaking on frustrated, not angry. We are dealing with so much here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now tuning in, excuse me, drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter Chatter time, and we are winding down, ladies. Miss Amanda, let me see. Gonna come in a second. What we're going to do is, ladies, next week, what I'm going to be speaking on, speaking of the best of me, what I'm going to be speaking on next week is church folks. Because, in our community, it's really the church people that run people away from the church. We're going to be speaking on that next week. We are so quick to judge each other, so quick to put each other down. The same way I said, be careful of those that are quick to judge you by the bad things that you do. The same things happen in church. Believe
Yeah.
all sins are the same. No sin is greater than any sin. You smacked me, he spit on her, she stabbed him. All those sins are the same. While we're busy judging each other, while we're busy putting each other down, while we're busy always having something negative or derogatory to say about each other, we need to understand that all sins are equal. And please understand that it's the church people that run people away from the church. We're going to be speaking on it next week, ladies and gentlemen, because the church people that always got their nose up, they're so judgmental. Those would make you don't want to come to church on Sunday. Those are the people why you feel like God don't feel what you need to say because they're telling you that if you're not doing this or you're not doing that God doesn't love you and God is not going to bless you. Ladies, we are stepping into love because one thing about you need God to grow. You see how all these ladies, when they spoke about things that they do when they get frustrated, they go to God. We are speaking on that. And we want ladies to understand that we don't want church people running people away from the church. If you're just now tuning in, tell a friend to tell a friend. It was Chatter time. Here we go. All right. Miss Darlene, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself again and tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and what you do and how they can reach you. One more time before we go.
Sure thing. I am Darlise Yvette, retired Army veteran. You can find me on Facebook, Darlise Yvette, DarliseYvette. You can also find me on Instagram, DYH, or that lady on IG.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Miss Kiana, run your credentials. Tell them how they can get in touch with you, what you do. And she's actually on the other side of town, ladies. We're winding down on our side. It's 9 o'clock over here. It's just a good
It's
6
six
over there. Go ahead
o'clock
and tell them
here.
how they can get in touch with you.
So I'm in. My name is Kiana Briscoe. I am in the Army. I work at the Seattle Military Entrance Processing Station. and I help process applicants. I facilitate the processing of enlistments for applicants joining the armed forces. And you can reach me on Facebook at Kiana Briscoe, KeiYanaBriscoe, and I'm available on Instagram as well. It's Mrs. Briscoe. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Miss Darlise, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Hi, Miss Amanda.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, and good meeting you too.
Good meeting you too.
What's your MOS?
I'm a 42 Alpha.
Okay, I had that. I was 42 Alpha as well as 68 Whiskey.
Okay.
Well, that was military talk just then. Hello, ladies. It's wonderful. I heard both of y'all talk, and it was great hearing you guys and hearing that y'all have so much in common. So I hope y'all do share your information and keep in touch. Y'all can mentor each other because, you know, Mousy, Darlise has had the experience, and Kiana, she is still present in the military, so y'all can be able to help one another. And that's Black Girl Beauty, ladies. That is what it's all about. And I'm happy to see my best friend, Darlise, on here tonight and hear her speaking so wonderfully as she always does. And Kiana, it's always good to see you as well. And so I just wanted to share with the ladies that are listening, because the subject was a great subject matter for us and for our community. And me as a single mother, you know, and an entrepreneur, I experienced this as well on both sides. You know, I remember times where, you know, when I was raising my children and I might have needed something fixed at my business, or I might have been dealing with a businessman in some way, shape, or form, and they see that you are a single mom or, you know, things of that nature, and they kind of approach you differently, or you're trying to do business. I just had a situation just 2 weeks ago where I was trying to do business with him. I'm trying to get him some money, you know, and at the same time, he's hitting on me. And I'm offended by that because I'm saying, can I do business? I'm not interested in you. I don't, you know, not at all. Can we just talk business? And oftentimes, I mean, that's happened to me throughout my career a whole lot. And then, of course, y'all know, being in the beauty industry all these years, I've always had to defend myself, even with other women, because, you know, you find yourself, because she was the best and they was hating on her. No, I won't say all of that, but I will say just being the leader of your facility, you know, being the owner of the business, you know, you get different challenges that will come your way, and you always have to be on your guards, you know. I always found myself in a position where I had to speak out, and I might have been called an angry Black woman because I always had to be the better person, so to say. You know, and I was challenged a lot because I was already outspoken. As a young girl, I was an outspoken girl. I became an outspoken woman, and I'm not saying in a negative way. Because some people say when you're being outspoken, they think, like Darlise said earlier, that you're being negative, but you're not being negative. It's just that, like Kiana said, you know your stuff. When you know your stuff and you're able to speak on your stuff, and you can speak on it with your eyes closed, sometimes other people are threatened by that.
Exactly.
Woman, or whether it be a man. I've been in relationships or engaged with other women doing stuff, and they felt a little intimidated. And they might have, you know, acted a certain kind of way, and I found myself having to stand up for myself, you know, because sometimes just because you're saying something, I might be talking out, I might be loud, you know, but just because I'm speaking with authority does not mean I'm aggressive, does not mean I'm bitter or I'm angry or none of that stuff. It just means that, hey, this is who I am, and I'm sorry if you feel a little intimidated by the tone in my voice,
or you feel intimidated by my words, I apologize for that, but I will not apologize for being Amanda Manigault. And I think ladies aren't going to apologize for being who you are. And so that's what we're about tonight. So for those ladies who are watching, Brianna, Shanice, Kiwanis, it's good to see you. Brittany, I'm sorry, Brittany, Shanice. It's good to see you guys on here tonight. But you know, Black Girl Beauty is not just about chitter chatter. Black Girl Beauty is not just about posting on board. It's about us coming together. You know, we have things in the future that's planned as far as us having a girl night, whether it be a Friday night, whether it's on a virtual thing, and we will have some live events as well. But we want to tap into women like yourself. We want to tap in so that you can share your story. And there are other women who are thinking about going into the military, and they have questions. You know, they want to know. So we need leaders like yourself to step up and be a part to help mentor this younger generation. And I heard Darlene say earlier that having these young people around her has helped her, and it has helped me too, because I'm able to see how they react to stuff, because oftentimes we think what is going on, but I'm understanding that their world is a little different from our world, and their thinking is different from our thinking. So when you put it all together, we just have to be open-minded about life in general. So with that being said, I put a link on here for those of you who want to tap in to blackgirlbeauty.org. Please go to www.blackgirlbeauty.org. Put in your email address. We have a trip coming up. We want to go to Puerto Rico. We were going to plan that for this year and maybe next year. But we have some different things coming up, talk shows, just some exciting things. We want to be a part of that. And go in and leave your email addresses if you haven't already. She told me I got 1 minute left.
No. I meant that minute was up. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so thankful to have you. Listen, come on. Just all right.
Hey, Niqua, can I just say one thing before you
every
go?
episode and do her own thing. It's a little hot right here. So what we're gonna do is, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Chitter Chatter. We have had a great episode. Remember, next week we're talking about church folks. Please be sure to tune in. It has been a plum please and pleasure. Thank you again to my guests. I'm going to go ahead and refill my drink because, of course, I have to toast you ladies out.
Hey, Niqua, before you toast us out, can I just give you one plug?
Of course. You said one hug?
No, well, hug to plug.
Okay.
One plug. Just wanted to point out that Miss Amanda did state how we all need each other, and I just want to let your other guests know, as well as your viewers know, that I do have a leadership program. It's the DYH, Developing Young Heroes program, which is designed to positively promote the common good and welfare of youth and young adult in the community. So if anyone's interested in virtual learning, it is a free program. Contact me. DYH, Developing Young Heroes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we're all about, empowerment, ladies and gentlemen, and uplifting each other. And we are all about sharing information, because in our community, we need to share information. You can't be afraid to share information. Like I told you last week, if everybody's holding ingredients, we're going to have a pretty nasty cake. The 5 ingredients you left out and the 5 ingredients I left out made this cake so terrible, we should have never made it. I'm going to I feel like my hair is pulling out the roots. So we're going to go ahead and go so I can take this down. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a plum please and pleasure. We're going to take one more toast. It's going to be great. Chitter Chatter, episode 20. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead before I end. Thank you to my guests. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and authentic and coming in and speaking about this topic. This is what we need here at Black Girl Beauty. We need to have this conversation. Thank you to all my viewers. Thank you to everyone here. This is Chitter Chatter. We have reached our 20th episode, and I am celebrating. Next episode is 21. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in thus far. Have a great night. It is the first of the month.
Thank you.
Have a happy 4th of July, but not more than you did on Juneteenth. It's our freedom day.
Right.